All right, thanks everyone for being here. Tonight is Thursday, October, 29th. Can't believe month is already almost over. And I want to be able to give Courtney plenty of time, so I'm just going to quickly remind everyone to make sure that you are on a Fall Classic team. So talk to your teams, make sure everyone is paired up. Registration can go through till tomorrow, so make sure everyone is on a team. This is really going to be awesome for you for the next month and to set you up for a really awesome new year in January. So make sure you make it a priority to get on that. Before we get going, are there any rank advancements that took place today? Anybody that you want to shout out? Any emeralds on the team? You can just unmute and shout out your coaches, or you can comment in the box. Anybody?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome. I would love to give a shout out to my awesome coach, Brianna Blomstrom. She has worked her butt off. And I'm so proud of her for making Emerald this week. So congratulations, Brianna.
Oh, I know. I saw that, Brianna. You're doing awesome. Congratulations. And I loved how you came out of your comfort zone too, and you put your why video up on the page, like being so new. That was so inspiring and really cool. I loved it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just the beginning for you. All right. Does anybody have anybody else that they'd like to give a shout out to? No. Okay. All right. Well, tonight, guys, I'm really, really excited because a really good friend and awesome coach in the company, Courtney Bell, is going to be speaking to you all tonight. And I am just pumped because she's seriously such an inspiration, and she's been such a great friend to me, even through my coaching journey. She's always been someone that I could go to and get just ethical advice about, and just, you know, she's always upfront and honest, and she's always helped me. So I'm really appreciative and thankful for her. She is a 2014 elite coach. She's a 6-star diamond. She's ranked number 54. Her and her team are ranked number 54 in the entire network. And she's a mom, she's a wife, she was a teacher in the past, and she's just incredible. And I really can't wait for you guys to hear her story. And she's going to be talking about the importance of goal setting and keeping a vision, and a couple other really important things that I know are going to be helpful for you in your business. So I have my notebook out with my pen, and I hope you guys do too. So Courtney, thanks so much for being here, and you can take it over.
Sure. Thanks for having me. You know, it's so funny because Kathy and I have a million mutual friends, and until this Beachbody opportunity, we had never met. And it's amazing how this world kind of brings everybody together. But to kind of give you guys a little bit of backstory on myself, I've been coaching for a little over 2 years, and I signed up in July of 2013, and I was one of those people who was invited to Shakeology challenges for well over a year, and I was the person who didn't say yes or no or maybe. I just ignored all of them and gave crickets and rolled my eyes, and to the point where it's really funny because a lot of my team is in Massachusetts, because I grew up, I was a swimmer, and I grew up in Attleboro, and I swam against a bunch of swimmers up there that are now part of my team, or they're above me, and now some are below me. But anyway, so I was invited to a ton of Shakeology challenges. I rolled my eyes at all of them, to the point when, like, another one of my mutual friends would sign up, I would like roll my eyes and be like, oh, another good one gone. Like her too, she's part of a pyramid scheme. She's selling crap, you know, like I like to chew my food. I'm not going to drink a shake. I don't need to lose weight. And then I'm a teacher by trade. I have a degree in early childhood. I have a master's as an intervention specialist. And so I spent 10 years between like the classroom setting to working with adult learners. And my husband is a college swim coach and recruiter. So we live here in Blacksburg, Virginia now. We've moved around a couple times. And when we left Buffalo, New York, I left my dream job, or what I thought was my dream job. This is it now. But I was working with student athletes doing intervention, and just, I don't know, I felt like an athlete again. Like I was definitely not an athlete, but I was a student athlete myself. So I really just felt back in my zone. And when he got the job here in Blacksburg, it was an exciting opportunity, but on the flip side, I was leaving something that, you know, I had created a position. I was loving my job, and we moved to Blacksburg, and I took the first job that I could find, which on paper was like designed for me. It was the most perfect job. And I get there and I show up, and people don't leave their desks. I mean, it's an office with like 500 students that should be coming through the doors. And on any given day, we might have seen five students. And I was there for a week, and I remember calling my former boss and being like, I've reached the end of the internet. I don't know what I'm supposed to do all day. And when I would ask my supervisor what I was supposed to do, she was like, yeah, we tried that before. It didn't work. And I quickly knew that this was not going to work for me. Like, I knew that there were better employers than this, but I could not work for people that were just going to sit at their desk all day, not engage people, not try to help them. I was like, what are we doing? And I remember talking to the dean of students and saying, okay, I don't know, like, do people really just go to work every day and like they just go to work every day? He's like, Courtney, most people just go to work every day. Like, they have no desire to make an impact. And I'm like, that's so sad to me. And that sort of started the snowball effect of me getting interested in coaching, because I'm seeing these Shakeology challenge invites come through, right? I'm newly pregnant at the time, and I have my son, and I'm going to a job that I'm like trying to find some passion in, and it's horrible, and I'm bored out of my mind, and I'm spending 1 hour a day with my son, 1 hour a day, commuting an hour round trip, making like $34,000 a year as a teacher with a master's degree. You know, it was like, what is this worth? And it wasn't about the income, but I was like, seriously, I like to think I'm worth more than that, you know? And so I finally responded to these. I don't know if you guys followed Danny Johnson at all with her GEM series. I've got a little bit of sapphire in me, and I know that because they were at Summit when I was like, okay, tell me more. You guys are in Vegas, and I'm sitting at my desk job that I hate. So tell me what you're doing. You're in a growth environment. I'm finally ready to listen. I still think I like to chew my food, so I don't want this Shakeology stuff, but tell me more. So long story short, I signed up when they got back, and I signed up as a challenger first because I wanted to make sure I'd love the products. Well, of course, like 3 days, 3 shakes in, and 3 days with Sean T, and I'm like, sold. And from there on, I just decided, it was in that moment that I just decided I was going to be great at this. You know, I was going to change a lot of lives. And I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was going to be uncomfortable. I knew that there'd be some naysayers. I didn't care. For the first time in my life, I just really didn't care. Like, I was just thought, I believe in this. I think what's going on is really great. Because I also had that other perspective as the person that was being prospected and invited, and I was like, pyramid schemes, no way, not doing this, to then getting on the other side and really connecting with my friends that were doing this, and I just like, I know them, they can't be doing anything shady, like they would never do that. And I just dove in, and I never knew that there was going to be an opportunity for me to do anything other than work in an educational setting. And to be completely honest, I was okay with that. I love teaching. I love helping people, but I never thought there would be an opportunity that would allow me to have that same outlet, but without the boss who won't leave their desk and won't invite students to come utilize services and won't try new things because they did that, 18 years ago and it didn't work. And I was like, at that point, I decided I can't come back to this job. I mean, I might have been a coach for like a week. And I was like, this is going to work. This time next year, I will not come back to this job. I had no idea how in the heck I was going to make that happen. I mean, like at this point, I don't even think I'd sold the challenge pack. So, I mean, I was not making any income, but I was like, I believe I can be great at this. And that was kind of what it started with, you guys, is a belief system, So if you're somebody who is doubting yourself and you think, you can't do what Kathy's doing or you can't do what I'm doing, you need to dig into some personal development, and you need to get out of your own way, because this isn't about skills. This isn't about somebody having a better skill set. This is about somebody having drive and a belief in themselves to think, I can do that too. I was, again, this new coach, and there's rank advancements coming up on our page and diamond coaches. I don't even know what that means, but I'm like, I'm going to be that girl, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. I don't know. My goal, I think, was Halloween. And I missed that goal, but it didn't matter. I was going to get there. I was going to figure it out. Again, still hadn't sold a challenge pack yet. I'm all just like working on myself, push and play, loving Sean T and Shakeology. My husband and I were doing it together. but I just knew that this was something that was going to be bigger. And I immediately had more energy, because my goal when I started, you guys, was not, I didn't have a huge weight loss goal. I've always been fairly athletic. I was holding on to a few extra pounds from my son, and I was a little squishy in areas I didn't want to be, but my transformation was not really physical. While I did share that in the beginning, I shared my transformation with T25, which was like, it was about 8 to 10 pounds and several inches. So there was a physical transformation, but what I've always really, really shared was my emotional and my being transformation, that I had more energy. I was more available to my family. I was getting 1 hour a day with my son, and I was yawning through it. Like prior to joining Beachbody, I was rushing through bedtime and bath time because I just wanted to sit on the couch. And I remember just thinking one day, that's terrible. I mean, I have 1 hour a day with him, and all I want to do is get on the sofa and watch TV. Like, that was my life. And I was like, I deserve more than that. My son deserves more than that. He deserves if he's only going to get 1 hour of me a day, he deserves the best of me. So I worked with my upline coach, and I had this instilled belief system in myself, my husband cheering me on, just knowing that you can do it. Like, whatever you want to do, I support you. But there were some things that had to happen. I needed to replace my income. Two teaching salaries and where we're living. I mean, we didn't really have debt, but we couldn't afford for me just to leave my job. And to be completely honest, you guys, I never really wanted to just be a stay-at-home mom. That wasn't really what appealed to me. Like, I wanted to have more time with my children, but I also really wanted to be working in a capacity that I was paying forward something. And being a stay-at-home mom is by far the hardest job. And now pairing that with work from home mom, it's like, I don't know which way is up some days. But so I knew that this was going to be something that was going to be hugely valuable to me. So my coach would say, what are your goals? Like, how are we going to get you there? And at the time we had $17,000 left on our car. And I said, well, we need to pay off the car. So, let's work to do that. And so this is about 4 or 6 weeks into coaching, and every check I had, I just put towards my car. And so I paid that off for probably around February. So the car was paid off. And I was retailing a lot, you guys. Like, I was Success Club 20, 30, and I don't really do that anymore. I'm Success Club 10 is like a non-negotiable for me, because I feel like that sets the example for my team. But I'm not really a huge retailer, but I knew that if I was going to grow my business, I needed to get challengers into challenge groups, and I needed to help them reach their goals. And I was committed to doing that. So I spent a lot of time on social media sharing, and I used to have a blog that is very far neglected now, which is going to be making a comeback and looking a lot different, because I miss blogging. It was my kids' baby books, like they're naked and bare, but I hear that just happens when you have your second kid anyway. Like, there's no baby books. So I'm just kind of letting that be what really happened. But anyway, so we set out, and she would always ask me, okay, well, what's next? Like, you paid off your car, so what's next? And I said, well, we got to pay daycare. I should back up. That was actually the first goal, was to pay daycare. It was about, where we live, daycare is actually pretty affordable compared to where most of you guys probably are, but it was about $800 a month, which was a big burden for us. And so I was able to do that in my first 2 or 3 months of coaching. But again, you guys, I was selling a lot of programs. I was getting a lot of bodies into challenge groups, and I was helping them all. Like, they were seeing amazing results, and they were signing up to coach, and they were paying it forward. And I did that by giving them exactly what I would give my students, as a teacher. Like, they had me 100%. And it didn't mean they had me 100% all the time every day, but it meant that I was the best coach I could possibly be to them, because I knew that if I was going to grow a team, it needed to be filled with a bunch of people who were like ambassadors for this company, that believed in these products. Because at the beginning, with myself that didn't really understand and know the products, I wasn't confident just like screaming from the rooftops, like, join me as a coach. I don't know idea what I'm doing either. And I don't know, it's Shakeology, and you drink it, it's good. So I figured my best way to do that was to do what my strength was, and that was helping people, and that was getting them in challenge groups. So I was, converting a lot of challengers into coaches. I was running Shakeology 10-day challenges a ton. Do you guys do Shakeology challenges?
Sorry, I actually haven't done one personally, but Kelly Paul, she's a rock star on my team here. She actually has been doing that, and she's had a lot of success with them, right, Kelly?
Well, let me unmute. Well, I guess I'm unmuted. I did like a 5-day sneak peek, and in the 5-day sneak peek, I basically shared just some different information about Shakeology, and then I bought a bunch of samples. I bought like the 24-pack, so I could sell samples to people and send them out. And I did get some challengers from that. I ran it a second time, and I don't know if I ran it too close to the first one because it just wasn't as effective. But I think I maybe got 1 or 2 people from that. But the first one, we had quite a bit.
That's awesome. How do you do yours, Courtney?
So we as a team, we still run a Shakeology challenge every, and this kind of ties into Kathy to something else that I know you wanted me to speak about, but we do a Shakeology challenge the second Monday of every month. It's 10 days. And this is often for a new coach. This is where we tell them to start. Your first invitation is going to be to join you on a 10-day Shakeology challenge. And the reason why we love these is because, it's $55, so they're not paying quite as much as they're going. The investment's a little smaller, which doesn't seem as scary for a new coach to invite to, but then also a new customer, because there's a lot of price objections. There's still going to be some price objections, but there aren't nearly as many. It doesn't seem quite as scary. And this challenge meets people where they are because we focus on a clean eating meal plan. We focus on drinking water. We focus on moving 8 of 10 days. And I tell people walking their dog counts, because for some people jumping into the 21-day fix, with change in meals and all these workouts, like sometimes we're setting them up for failure. It's like too much too fast. And it depends. Like it totally depends on the person. And then we put them in a private group and we talk about goals and we find out their why and we find out what motivates them and we find out how they reward themselves and we get to just, we as a team, we go hard on that group. Like we bring our pom-poms and we are like amped up and ready to go because this is their first experience with Rock Solid. This is their first glance at what do these accountability groups mean? Because I get a lot, I don't need a group. And it's like, let me meet the team. I promise you, like you will love this team, because we bring so much energy and we do fun things like dub smashes. And I'm sure some people are like, whoa, this team is nuts. But you get your people that don't have connections to a lot of friends or they are a lot of stay-at-home moms, which can be very isolating and lonely at times. And it just brings them connected to a lot of women. Most of our challenges, I don't really have any male customers. They're all women. But anyway, so they start with a 10-day challenge. And for me in the beginning, our team had always done this. And so me in the beginning, I was running a 10-day challenge at least every month, sometimes twice a month, because I was making a ton of connections. And I had some people that would do them several times, but I don't think I have a single 10-day challenger that never committed at some point. Like in the beginning, I was running a 10-day challenge the second Monday of the month. And I was upgrading them all to a challenge pack by the 4th Monday of the month. So like every single person in my 10-day challenge, I shouldn't say every person, but if I had 10 people in there, 8 of them were joining me. They were feeling great. We met them where they were. They saw great results. They felt energized, and we matched the best fit program to them. We put them in a challenge group, and then we ran the course through a challenger, which then, if cost was an objection, that became a great conversation for coaching. And so it kind of just really slowly eased them into the process. And the reason why I love the 10-day challenge is that we do hammer the hard, like the why and the goals, because for whatever reason, when I just start people in a challenge group, we don't seem to really dig deep into why they want to be here. Whereas with the 10-day challenge, we're really focusing on, it's kind of like the 3-day refresh or the ultimate reset, where like it's like a mind and wellness challenge, because we're not physically taxing you. You can do whatever workout you normally do. You can garden for half an hour. I don't care. Pull weeds. That's hard work, but meet them where they are and they check into the group and you just build a really great relationship with them. So that's always my starting point with new coaches is that, I'm going to run you through your first month exactly like I would run a challenger. I'm going to put you in a 10-day. I'm going to put you through a 30-day challenge, and you should be comfortable to feel like you can invite at that point, because if that's what your intention and you want to build a business, you want to invite people to join you, you just don't want a discount, you should have the knowledge to see with the evolution of a customer, like what it would look like to build that rapport with a customer. And so my relationships with people were just strengthening through all of these challenges. And I gained confidence in that, because I was so nervous to invite people. I was seeing great results with T25. I was sharing about it on social media, kind of sharing about this exact way we tell our coaches not to share about it. But I'm like, hey, I worked out with Shanti tonight because I didn't know. And I'm just sharing about it. And people are asking, and I'm sort of sparking some interest. And my coach was like, are you ready to invite to a 10-day? And I was like, I don't know. No one will join me. Shakeology's too expensive. Like, I don't know. I didn't have that confidence yet. And I put out that event, and I had like 15 people want to join. And I was like, all right, I can do this. And just building those relationships with people, like I will never forget that first group of challengers. Like they are people that will forever, I'll be indebted to them because they gave me the confidence to know that I could do this. Like I could tell you every single person first challenge that I had. There's 15 of them. Several of them are coaches now, but they left such an impact on my life because I needed them like as much as they needed me at that point, because I needed them to be like, yeah, you are pretty good at this. Like you're very attentive and you check in and, you bring the energy and it's great. And so from there on, we just kind of rolled forward. But my big, you guys, I'm a talker. I'm sorry, but I'm kind of rambling. But what that did when I built those relationships with these customers and then they joined our team and they joined me and they were ready to kind of share this vision, they followed me through what it was that I was trying to do. I was working to retire myself from that job that I hated so much. And I was doing it by adding value to others. I wasn't retailing just to earn income to leave my job. I was pouring time and energy and heart and soul into every single person that came in contact with my team. And my team noticed that. And I shared with them very early on what my vision was, that I shared, so I got then pregnant in January, so 6 months after I started coaching, and I remember thinking, I hope this isn't the end of my coaching journey, like who's going to want to follow a pregnant girl? Like, it's like totally changing the brand I had created for myself. But honestly, my business boomed at that point because I had so many friends that looked at fitness and pregnancy as like something you just couldn't or shouldn't do. And I think I gave them a lot of courage to think like, oh, I could do that too. And so it was at that point when I found out that I was pregnant and I knew, I was like, we can't send 2 kids to daycare and I hate this job and I'm not going to be rushing out the door at 6 a.m. to get 2 kids to daycare so I can go sit at a job that provides me zero value. I'm not coming back. And I declared that to my team. And I said, you guys, I can't do this without you. I can't leave my job without you guys. And so I need to know what your visions look like. And I need to know what your goals are because together we need to do that. And it wasn't about me because at first that was hard to share because I was like, that sounds like so much about me. But it was about us building a community of people that was going to serve the same mission because we were all there. My team is, I would say we are very great at running challenge groups. That is certainly a strength of ours because that is, a lot of them that they've learned from me. Like that's what I do. Most of my recruit coaches come from challenge groups. I rarely get a coach that just dives right in. They generally start as a challenger. It's like that natural evolution. And then they're very comfortable. They know exactly what to do. But so, we talked a lot about that. And I made them share their goals with me. I don't know if there's any of you on here that have not yet ever shared your goals with your upline, but you've got to share your goals because if we don't know what it is that you're working to accomplish in this business, and even if it's just to get your product covered or whatever, that's totally fine. And even if you don't really know what that looks like yet, that's okay too. Like it should keep changing as your business and everything else grows. Your dreams should get bigger and your goals should change, but you have to share those things with your upline coach because if you're not doing that, it gets very difficult for us to be able to find ways to really help you. Like when you're feeling stuck this time of year, I don't know anybody else, but this time of year sucks. Like it is really difficult. And I'll share this with you guys, but as a leader, oftentimes I find myself doing a lot more for my team than I'm doing for my own business. And I had to really take a step back here because last Monday I was sitting at SC2 and I was like, well, this is just not going to work. And this morning I'm in SC22 because I went back to my vitals. I started inviting people again because I wasn't doing that. It's amazing how those vitals work, and I'm not telling you guys that because I'm not like SC22 is a lot for me. Like I said, I'm generally SC10. and I'm good, and, you know, hold you off till next week if I can. That's it. That's because honestly, I know what my limitations are and I know what my strengths are, and that is in building relationships and really helping people. And so when I take on more than I can handle, I'm not so good at what I'm really great at, you know? But anyway, so your goals, you need to have your goals. You need to write those down, and you need to figure out what it is that every morning when you wake up, you're working towards. Because if you don't have something that you're pushing for, and I'm not talking about rank, and I'm not talking about Success Club, it is far beyond that. It is whatever it is that you're pushing for. For me, it was to buy back time with my family, you know, to be more available to my family. And Success Club and rank, those were just things that were going to happen if I was committed to my vitals, building my relationships. Like, those were all things that were going to happen if I was being honest with the daily activities that I was doing to grow my business. You know, if I was, every day I could say, you know, I did these things and these will move my business forward, I knew I would attain those goals. But I had to get my team on board. I had to let them see what I was, you know, what my dream was. And mid-year, I was a new coach, you know, last year, where I didn't really know what elite meant at all. I was getting those diamond trackers and I'm like, what is this? Like, what are these points? And I'm so confused. And I remember asking my coach and saying, okay, I have like 85 points. And she's like, oh my God, like, you're on track for elite. And I was like, what the heck does that mean? You know, like, I had no idea. And at the time, I mean, when I was at Summit in 2014, so 5 months before the 5-star qualification, I was a diamond coach, you guys. Like, I was a diamond coach. At my 1-year Beachbody anniversary, I was a diamond coach, and I was 1-star I was turning 1-star qualified, but it was my husband. So, you know, like, I built that myself. And then it was a week later, my other coach hit. So then I was 2-star qualifying. So I opened my second business center in August of 2014. And I hung out at 2-star for a while. I was like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know where I could see the diamonds on my team. I knew who could be a diamond coach. They just needed to get out of their own way. Like, they had all of the drive and the desire to be there, but they needed to believe in themselves that they could be a diamond coach, that they could invite people to join them. So anyway, we together, we pushed for that elite together. You know, I reached down in my downline and I said, you know, I want to be an elite team, you know, and I'd love for you to join me on that. You know, reaching out to the people that were right there. And we pushed hard together. And that was for a leader that at first I was like, I don't know, this seems really selfish, but I knew that being an elite coach provides me so many more opportunities to do things for my team, to provide gifts for them, to provide dinners and meals and things, because there is a bonus that comes with elite. So that wasn't about me getting a bonus. I mean, most of that I'm pouring directly back into my team, because I know that those are things that are really important, because I really want to make sure that they know how appreciated they are. You know, everybody's leading very busy lives. I mean, we have a large group of pharmacists on our team, a lot of teachers, a lot of social workers, a lot of nurses, a couple doctors. I mean, we've got people that are really busy. And so I know that their vision is going to look very different than mine, and that's totally fine. But for you, whatever your goals are, please share those with your upline. I've got people that have been coaches for 2 years that will still not give me a single goal, like what they want to do with this opportunity. And so what I want to do right now is I want you guys to close your eyes. I know this is going to seem really awkward, but close your eyes, okay? And I want for you guys to think about what your perfect day would look like, okay? So who would you be with? Where would you be located? You know, what would the weather be? What would the weather be like? What time of day is it? What do you smell? What do you hear? Okay, those are things you need to write down, because this company has the ability to paint that picture for you. But you have to do a few things. You've got to map out some goals. You got to figure out exactly what it is that keeps you here every day. Like, what brings you to this call? Like, why are you here? You know, why is this important to you? And you got to share that with your upline, and you need to figure out how you're going to get there, and reverse engineer and work backwards. And I was really fortunate to have an upline coach that was so great about breaking that down for me, you know, and saying, well, what's the income that you're going to need to earn to be able to leave your job? Okay, well, how many lives do we need to change to do that? We need to get your second business center open. You know, we need to get your second business center open, your third business center open. We need to do these things, because without those, you know, it depends on your, like, my timeline was like here now. And I know everybody's timeline is different. Like, you don't need to leave your job in a year. Like, for me, I just wasn't going back. I just made that decision. I'm not going back. And I can be very impulsive like that. And so I'm like, I'm going to make this work. It's not optional. And I'm going to get my team on board, and we're going to do it together. And so last October, so I had my second son in August of 2014, and I left for maternity leave, although I knew I wasn't going back at that point. I was earning a little over $1,000 a week. I just opened my second business center, and I knew I don't need to go back. Like, that's plenty of income for us for me not to have to work. And I went in October and I resigned, and she was shocked. She was like, what? And I was like, I guess I wasn't very good at telling you that I hated this job. But she was shocked, and she's like, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to love on my babies, and I'm going to help people live healthier, more fulfilling lives, and run my Beachbody business. And she just couldn't even believe that while working full-time, pregnant, I was able to replace my income. Because then she was asking questions, and I was like, I don't really want you as a coach on my team, so this isn't going to work. But as horrible as that sounds, but she was like, really curious about all that, because I was working full time. I was filling the mom cracks. That was what I was doing. I was up early. I was up late. I was working my lunch hour because I knew exactly, for me, what I needed to do to be successful in this and what it looked like for me. So I'm challenging you guys to really take some time to look at, what does success look like to you, and how are you going to get there? Because things are going to be hard. There are going to be months when you feel like, I always give the example of Julia and Julia, like the movie where she's like blogging and no one's writing, and then she gets a message and she's like, oh, somebody replied, and it's her mom. And there are going to be days when you're like, nobody is interested in joining me, but that's just not true. Like, you have to see the big picture in this. You can't think that in 3 months you're going to reach all of your goals. This is a network marketing company. So you have your foundation is already built for you. Like, you have a company that has put the bricks and mortars in place. So your only investment in this is yourself, working on your own health and wellness goals. And so that is not a very big investment, because that is the rest of your life, being the best version of yourself you possibly could be. And then breaking it down to figure out how you are then going to build your house from there. But you're not in debt over this. If anything, your life should be much more rich and much more fuller because of the lives that you're changing, because of the people that you get to plug in and surround yourself with every single day. This is a community that most people don't go to work and have a community like this, where people are constantly lifting you up. It's the exact opposite. And you got here by knowing that you wanted to first take care of yourself, and then you were going to pay that forward, and you were going to help other people too. But you need to figure out what that's going to look like for you and how you're going to get there, and dig into your personal development. I was the biggest personal development naysayer for probably the first year of my business, because I couldn't fit it in. I was like, I don't got time for it. I don't listen to my rap music on my way to work, and I don't want to listen to, I like rap music. I don't want to listen to personal development. Like, this John Maxwell guy is boring. And, but you know what? My business stopped growing. It's like, I needed to look at, it wasn't about people that weren't doing things. It was about what I wasn't doing as a leader. It's never about other people. It's not about people not joining you. It's about you. What do you need to change? What aren't you doing? Like last week I was sending SAT because I wasn't sending invites out. Like, people still need to be invited to things. You can still be a 6-star, 10-star, 15-star diamond, and you still need to invite people. That doesn't just, people aren't just like knocking on my door and be like, sign me up, please. Some people, yes, but I'm at the point now where I have to encourage people to take a leap of faith and join me, you know, work on them, be their best version of themselves this holiday season. You know, they won't regret it. And if they do, they have 30 days to return their package. You know, so there's nothing lost there. But I want you guys to think about that vision, what you saw when you closed your eyes, because for me, it was being home with my children, being more available, not living paycheck to paycheck, or just not having the ability to go out to dinner as a family because we didn't have the income to be able to do that, not being able to fly home to see our families, you know, that live far. I didn't want a life where we couldn't have the flexibility to do those things, but I needed to continue to keep myself immersed in an environment that allowed me to grow, allowed me to do what I'm good at, and that's helping people. And it's amazing that, you know, this was in front of me for over a year, and I ignored every single invitation because I thought it just wasn't for me, you know? So let that be something for you, that every time you're sending an invitation, it's probably for somebody. They're just not ready. So don't give up on your business because people aren't listening and people aren't following, because I'm pretty sure that if my upline quit 6 months before I signed up, she probably would have regretted that, you know, because I was watching. I just wasn't ready yet. So you have to ride it out. This time of year, I just had this talk with our team because there seems to be this pattern of, I don't know if I'm cut out for this because it's really hard right now. It's hard for everybody right now. You know, it's okay. But January is around the corner, you know, and people are going to really need us. They're not ready right now, but that doesn't mean they won't be tomorrow or a week from now or 3 months or a year from now. I have people that are still joining me that reached out 2 years ago that just weren't ready. And now they're like, I'm ready, you know, because they kind of need to follow you a little bit. They need to build some trust in you to see. One of my best friends signed to be coach in May. And you guys, this is terrible, but I never invited her because I was like, she was my friend and I didn't want her to, you know, she was somebody that I did care a lot about what she thought, I think. And she, you know, I said to her, I was like, I'm really sorry I never invited you. And she's like, I wouldn't have joined you 2 years ago. Like I needed to see that you were, you know, 2 years later, you're still doing this. And I'm like, oh, well, it must be worth it. She's still doing it. Like she's still posting every single day. It must be worth it. So don't give up on people. Don't give up on your team of coaches. You know, if you feel like you're frustrated because you've got some coaches that aren't reaching their potential, just love them where they are, you know, see if they can give you some goals. But if you're not sharing your vision and your goals with them, you're not giving them anything to follow. Speed of the leader, speed of the pack. And that doesn't mean rank, and that doesn't mean income. That means business building activities. That means, you know, if you're not posting on social media, your downline's not posting on social media. If you're not hitting Success Club, your downline's not hitting Success Club. You know, those things, they notice. They're watching you. They want to see what you're doing. And those things are, you know, truly, truly important for not only your business, but setting the positive example for your downline and working together for your team goals and that vision. But you got to get those goals. You got to figure out that vision, and then you got to share that with your team, because if they don't know what that looks like for you, you've given them nothing to aspire to. You have to give them that. Sorry, I feel like I'm rambling here.
No, that was so awesome. You said so much good stuff. Seriously, I was taking notes and everything too, but man, I just loved it. But like, guys, just to like reiterate just a couple of important things here that, you know, I took away from it that I know you've heard plenty of times. It's good to hear other people come on this call and tell everyone, so it's not always me, you know?
Absolutely.
But one of the things that Courtney said that, you know, really stuck out to me that, you know, right from the beginning is that she said that when she finally did make the decision to do this, you know, she just knew that she was going to do it. She had that belief, and it was there from the beginning. And I feel like that makes such a huge difference with the people who tend to move a little bit faster than the ones that are having a little bit more of a struggle. Like, she knew what she wanted to do with this, and she knew that she didn't want to go back to that job. And so she had her goals in place, and she wrote them down, and she mapped out how she was going to achieve them, you know. And that's why, like, right from the beginning for her, you know, that was kind of like how I was, Courtney. Like, my whole story too is like the same thing. Like, I just got into this. I knew it was going to happen. I had the belief, you know, banging out the, you know, you know, the customer and the challenge packs and stuff at the beginning to make these goals like fall into place. And then it turns into like so much more. And it's so important to keep that, to have that vision of really what you want, you know, your life to look like. So I really liked how she talked about that, and how, you know, she talked about how really this whole entire thing is all about building relationships with people. This isn't about just, oh, hey, let me just hit Success Club and dump this person off. You know, this is somebody's life that you are impacting. And it's so important that you keep that connection with them, you know, because you're their coach and you want them to have success and be happy with you. So that was really great, Courtney, that you said all that. I loved how you mentioned too, because I didn't know this about you, but I loved how you mentioned that you were like a diamond coach or maybe 1-star qualifying 5 months, guys, before the qualification period hit to become an elite coach. Now, there are tons of diamonds on this team. To become an elite coach, you need to have a certain number of points, and you need to also be a 5-star diamond coach. So Courtney worked her little buns off with her and her team and was able to literally move from being a diamond coach. So if you're a diamond on this team, right, think about that, just not even 5 months later, and she was able to hit that goal. So that's pretty incredible. And I like too how, you know, she mentioned that, you know, no matter what, no matter where you are in this business, you know, you need to always go back to the 3 vital behaviors. It never ends. It doesn't matter where you are in this business. It doesn't matter what rank you are. It doesn't matter how long you've been a coach for. It doesn't matter how small or big your team is. That is what drives your business. And I was, same situation as you too, Courtney, sitting at like, seriously, I'm not kidding, I came back from the leadership retreat. I was at like -1 for Success Club points. You know how it is. And it's so, yeah. I was like so stressed out. And I finally just locked in Success Club 11, which is like, you know, kind of low for me. But now I'm working on getting Nick's account to Success Club 10. And I know it'll happen, you know, but it's so important to keep those vital behaviors. Do you have time for a couple of questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does anybody have any questions that you want to ask Courtney? And I really loved too your Shaco 10-day challenge. Like, I am definitely going to put that into place. That was awesome.
That was my question. Do you have, okay. So Courtney, you mentioned that there was a, you said something about spending or getting people to commit only $50. Are they buying to get the $10 or 10 days worth of Shakeology? Are they buying like 2 sample packs, or how are they getting, how do you have them kind of get that? What do you have them purchase, I guess, to get started?
So they are just buying 10 packets of Shakeology. And so they're buying those directly through us, the coach. And so this is where our coaches who sign their spouse and they order packets under their spouse, we tell them your goal is to find 2 challengers, 2 10-day challengers every single month, so you're not sitting on inventory. Like if your spouse isn't drinking Shakeology, like my husband does. But in the beginning, so I would have to invite like 2 weeks out, but I would send invitations. I would do an event on Facebook and I would send invitations to people. At first I was making them private, so I was just inviting like, I don't know, 100 people or something from my friends list of who might want to join. And then I would, in the event page, I would just sort of like get people excited, you know, like talk about clean eating, talk about what we were going to do in the challenge. And then they would PayPal me $55 and I would send them 10 packets of Shakeology. So I would take orders. I needed those like 2 weeks ahead. I would take orders. And so I knew that I had 10 people that wanted to do a challenge and I had chocolate and whatever. Like sorry, my dog's in here. I would only let them buy them in like the ways that they came, you know, so they couldn't do like 1 vegan, 1, it was like you can do chocolate and vanilla, or you can do chocolate like 5 and 5. And so I kept it easy. So like the boxes all split up. And so we just sell them to them. And our team. So now our team, we actually have a document in our team page, a files document with like inventory. So like people that have a couple extra packets they're sitting on. So like next week I'm doing a 10-day challenge. And this is also something that's interesting. A good point to say though too, is that in the beginning I would have like a mom and daughter that wanted to do it. And so I would just have them buy a box themselves and split it. Or, you know, husband, wife, or whatever. But if it was just one person, I would just sell them the packets. But then I also keep my continuing HD customers engaged, because I always put them in a 10-day, like I always invite my current HD customers back to the 10-day challenge, or those that have like fallen off the wagon. It's like, let's get you going again. Let's get an order of Shakeology in, let's put you in that 10-day challenge, let's, revamp. And that really helps help our team keep people on HD, because they really love these like 10 days. Like sometimes maybe at the end of 10 days they're like, oh, that's enough rock solid for me for 10, I'll see you guys next month. But you just have to you be the ultimate challenger, like do handstands and whatever you have to do.
Okay. How did you decide on 10 days?
So that was just what our upline team had always done. They used to do 12. So they used to do a 12-day challenge. You could split a box. And then they switched it to 10 days because 12 days just seemed too long. Like it was almost like you had people for 2 full weeks and people were just like kind of falling off. And I've tried 5 days. I've never converted a challenger from a 5-day challenge ever. Okay. Because it's people that want a quick fix, and that's what it's been for me. Like they want to lose a couple pounds. They just want to spend $25. But with my 10-day challengers, like it's almost all of mine always go on to order Shakeology or a challenge pack, and they want more. So did that help? Did that answer your question?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. So we do work together as a team to make sure people get packets, and it also helps keep our coaches active, because then they don't need to pause shipments of Shakeology. Like if they've got a surgery they just had and they've got a packet of boxes of, packets of Shakeology that, I don't know. So it's helpful for us. It keeps people active, and we make sure no one's sitting on inventory, because we don't want anybody with inventory.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you.
Yeah. And they're all our posts are all scripted. So we take turns. We ask people to sign up to post. So it's a really great way to empower a new coach. Like, hey, you're going to post day 3. Like, make sure it's up by like 8 a.m. and you can use, do you have buffer? Let's try that out. It's a really good training module. Get them excited in there and show them, like, tag your people, post in there. And so it kind of meets the new coach where they are too.
That's awesome. I love that. I'm definitely going to implement that next. We'll add that to the list.
Yeah. So for us, we do the 10-day challenge on the second Monday. We do our sneak peek on the third, and we do our 30-day challenge on the fourth Monday. And so for me, generally, I get my customers ordered early in the month. They start with a 10-day and then they roll into my 30-day. So I'm not necessarily recruiting a lot out of 10 days anymore. Most people that I have now are ready kind of just to sign up with a challenge pack, but not always. Sometimes you have to go backwards, like let's start here. But in the beginning, like a new coach, I'm like, you're going to invite to the 10-day and we're going to work through building that relationship and getting them to convert over to your 30-day challenge group.
That's awesome. Yeah, that'll be definitely something that I'm going to implement then for as soon as I can do it for the team. That'll be really helpful, I think. I'll add that.
Yeah, they're fun. They're really fun.
Yeah, they sound fun. And you know what? And I think it's good too, because then, really, like I've never just given samples of Shakeology away to people, because honestly, like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, you don't even feel any of the benefits of it. Like you really need to be on it for a good solid amount of time to feel like the effects of it. So this would be like a great way for them to see the benefits of it.
And you get them through a weekend too, because we had been doing 5-day challenges, and you don't get somebody unless you start like on a Friday or something, but you don't get someone through the weekend, which is where the struggle is. That's the hard part. It
is. That's so great. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, so those have been really helpful for our team.
That's awesome. That's super. Does anybody have any other questions for Courtney about anything? You can just unmute. What's your favorite PD recommendation or book?
So my favorite book is The Go-Giver. I don't know if you've read that, by Bob Berg, and there's another author too. But I read it for the first time. I did it on audio. I drove to Summit. It was a 6-hour drive for me. And I listened to it on the way to Summit, and it was like the perfect read going there. But it is, I don't know, it totally speaks my love language, but it's such a great, great, great book. And then he's got the second one is The Go-Giver Sells More, which is so great. And it's not really, it's told like a story, which is pretty great. So it's like really easy to follow. It's not like this heavy text. And so it's a really easy read. I mean, it's a really short book. It's like, it takes this guy through a week of his business plan pretty much. And then The Energy Bus I just finished is awesome too. That's a really great book in terms of focusing on your vision, like what you want your life to look like. And so that was a really good book. So I would say like those are two of my favorites. I love anything John C. Maxwell too, but sometimes he's a little heavy. I have to take a break.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Does anybody have anything else that they'd like to ask? Speak now while we have her.
I love these little feet that are like dancing in front of the screen.
Oh my gosh, I know. So cute. With a little like dress on, or is that a tutu? I can't tell. That's so cute, huh?
Lots of babies. I love it.
I know. Me too. I love all the
I
little
just see like her little butt with her little tutu.
I know. So cute. Oh.
I have boys, so I don't have tutus. We've got like camouflage and lightsabers going on.
Legos and all that kind of stuff.
Luckily, no Legos yet. I've yet to step on a Lego. I'm not looking forward to that.
I know. Oh my gosh, so much to clean up.
No kidding. But anyway.
Oh my gosh. Well, I seriously really appreciate you taking the time out of your night. I know I know you're so busy, and I know this is such a busy time of year too, because it gets a little bit harder. So you need to work even harder on your business and trying to help as many people as possible. But just make sure, guys, listen to what she said. Take her advice about setting the goals. If I'm your upline or whoever your upline is, make sure that we know what those goals are so that we can help guide you. Otherwise, it's kind of like the blind leading the blind, and you're just kind of going through the motions. So that was an awesome tip. And thank you so much, Courtney. I cannot thank you enough. Seriously. I love you, and you've been like a huge help to me, really, like this entire time. It's funny how this
Oh, I'm happy to help.
Yeah, you are so helpful. You're just so great, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come on tonight.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks so much. All right, I hope you guys have a great night and have a happy Halloween. Bye, everyone.
Bye.